What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. I've got an unboxing for you today that I am beyond stoked about. These are some of the most amazing, like next level baits I've ever seen or had my hands on. I think you guys are gonna like them a lot. We're talking, of course, about Nikko Baits. If you guys haven't heard about them, we just did a podcast with Scott, the guy, Scott Barrett from Nikko Baits. He is the guy that basically deals with the whole North American market for this company. And I was so impressed with the way the podcast went and all the information and knowledge that Scott had that I had to check these baits out. And I think you guys are gonna love them. And if you do, you might wanna pick up some for yourself. Hey, we're gonna get to this in just a second. If this is your first time stopping by the channel or you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing. We do unboxings, gear reviews, which are ramping up, bass fishing tips, and fishing videos all the time. So we'd love to see you here more often. Subscribe, smash the like on this video, ring that notification bell so you can see when we drop more content. We also go live right here on YouTube every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Please come join us, talk to us, and chat. It's a ton of fun, and we'd love to see you there. We got this big old honking box. Look at this thing. This thing is packed full, and I can't wait to see what's inside. These are insane baits, so let's get to it. All right, packing foam. Takes extra care, I love it. Got a little sheet here with a little note from Scott. Bonus packs. He added shrimp, excellent bait everywhere, he says. Nice. And the Helgermite, I'm just kidding. Helgermite, got it. The Helgermite natural color is the #1 color. Okay, sweet. So that was not, I didn't pay for those. Thank you, Scott. Thank you so much, man, for sending me that. Also, got some sick sticks that we can throw around. Nice. Real cool thing about Scott I do want to throw out here is that on the podcast, he didn't make any dive for sponsorship. It wasn't like, hey, you guys have followers, let's sponsor you, join our pro staff or anything like that. He actually says on the podcast, go back and listen if you don't believe me, like he only allows people to be on the team that want to be on the team. Like they fish Nikko Baits, they love Nikko Baits, and then maybe if it makes sense, they'll hook them up, they'll get them on the team. And I appreciated that. That's refreshing. It's the same deal we had with Akuma. When they reached out to us, Dave Brown reached out to us, I wasn't like, yeah, man, give me rods and reels. I was like, let's try this out. So for me, that's impressive. That says a lot about a company. I like it. And here he is. I mean, I paid for all these baits, but he sent me some extras. So I'm stoked to check these babies out. So if you guys aren't familiar, Nikko Baits is a Japanese company that has moved to the North American market. Their North American brand is growing. So they make a bait similar to what you see with like a Z-Man, where it's hyper stretchy, hyper durable, but claims to be more durable than Z-Man and better for the fish, better for the environment. So I'm interested to put that to the test, obviously. That's why I picked up the whole big box here. And we're gonna do that coming soon. All right, so first up, we've got the bonus baits he sent me. Well, shrimp pack, look at these things. Are you kidding me? Look at those. That's freaking gorgeous. I mean, if you guys have watched the channel, you know I'm in Michigan, and you know that we don't have shrimp. We're freshwater. We are the shark-free lakes. Freshwater all around me, but Scott claims that these work everywhere, and I can't see why not. Let's take a look-see. Oh my goodness, these are so sweet. Check it out. There you go, little shrimpy. This is perfect. Look at it. We got appendages, hyper flexible appendages. Look at that. We can stretch the antenna out. Look at the eyes even on it. Look at the level of detail and just the quality that goes into this bait. Holy cow. So there you go. So it's that hyper elastic material, very stretchy, but feels a little different than your Z-Man Elastec, which I can appreciate, and it's probably a good thing. Nice thing about this, check this out. I've actually got a little hook guide in here, a little space for the hook. And up here, there's a hole where your hook should be coming out. You guys see that? That's freaking nuts. We got what looks like orange, maybe gold flake in here. It looks a little different in my light. This thing is gonna bang. I love it. I like the size of it. You know, we go Ned rig and drop shot this thing. Oh my goodness, is that juicy. I love it. This is the most like Japanese packaging I own. That's so rad. And that was a bonus bait, so thank you, sir. This was a recommendation of his that he threw at me. It's the Helgermite in natural. This is a natural color. So let's pop this baby open. I'm gonna have to tear apart most of these, which is fine because we're gonna use them all in the water anyways. They are resealable packs, which is cool. And most of them are actually not clamshell, which means easy for like bank fishing if you're throwing it in your backpack or throwing it on the boat. All right, so here is their most popular bait by far, the Helgermite, which Scott actually like made himself, like designed this bait top to bottom. Look at this thing. The appendages on it, look at that. You're gonna have tons of action. Each one of those, hyper durable. You got the stretch on all those appendages, even down to the pincers, look at that. And then the whole body itself, wow. And it feels strong, like I use Z-Man all the time, and like I gotta say, this feels stronger than that is. I'm in awe, I'm impressed. Look at the tail section. Those real rear pincers there, oh my goodness. So if you guys aren't familiar, Helgermite are like a pretty common forage of all fish everywhere in the world, but our smallmouth in the rivers and creeks around here are definitely chewing on these babies. It's a great size, coming in at 3 inches with all these appendages. This is a perfect Ned rig bait, and I will be Ned rigging it this week actually. We're gonna get out, do a little river wading, toss this thing around. And you could also obviously drop shot, throw it on a downsized shaky head. You could do all sorts of stuff, man. Texas rig it. This thing is insane. I got 2 of everything because I got half for Paul, half for me. And we're gonna take them all out on the water and test them out. So if you guys want to check this out, I'll leave a link in the description below so you can go online and give these a try if you want to. They've got an online store where you can make a purchase. They also sell some of these, especially the Helgermite, on Amazon, so you can always check out Amazon.com as well. Next up, I've got another Helgermite. This is a color that was probably my favorite color on the site because it just reminds me of the colors that I usually bang on the rivers and on the lakes around me. So this color is called Fusion, and that's what she looks like. Sort of a watermelon looking color, a little green pumpkin, gold, red, black flake in there. But that is just juicy, especially this time of year. This is a color that is just gonna work really well. And I mean, really realistically all year round. But these types of flakes in here, that little pop, this works in the rivers so well. So if we got stained to dirty, murky water, like this will bang. Even in the mud, like muddy, chocolate, milky, disgusting water, I could throw that around and get some bites for sure. I like it, loving that Helgermite. All right, let's go to the worms. So they've got this sort of finesse style trick worm here that I picked up in 2 different colors. Let's take a look. So this is called the Zaza worm, floating scented worm, 6 inches. Here's the 2 colors we grabbed. One is Fusion, like I said, fantastic. The other color is like a black and blue flake. Doesn't say the color on the packaging, but I'm pretty sure it was called Galaxy. So let's look at that one. Check this out. So 6-inch worm, comes down to this like nice paddle section for the end of the tail. I like that. It's pretty detailed, pretty intricate there. Look at this. Thick paddle, that's gonna move a lot in the water. With that tapered section there, you're gonna have a ton of action. And of course, as before, we've got this hyper stretch. You gotta be kidding me how far these things stretch. That's absurd. Boom. And the cool thing, the reason I had to get this, I would have dodged the worm and got all the other finesse stuff if it were up to me normally, but Scott brought this up on the podcast show. Check it out. See that hole right there? It's for your hook point to go through, but also this is hollow. That's going to be interesting. That's going to have a pretty cool effect, I think, when this is underwater. So it's a hollow worm, very unique. I like that. Love the ribbing on this thing as well. I think it's going to move a lot of water, have a lot of action, and you know, we can easily wacky rig, shaky head, I'm thinking with this. Texas rig, Nikko rig, really want to do. But what he said is some guys will actually either, one of 2 things, just stuff like some scent down in here, or they make scent balls that they actually sell on the website they can stuff into here, or you know, trim this down, make it into a Ned rig where it's floating, or throw rattles in here. There's all sorts of stuff you can do with it. So in terms of all the baits on the site, this one is probably the most versatile. and I can use it a billion different ways, so I gotta get my hands on it. I'm liking these baits. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Here we go. We got some Neds, my friends. They make a pretty ridiculous Ned worm. Let's check it out. Which, funny story, Scott brought up, they really just started making because a lot of guys were cutting the Zaza worm down to make it into a Ned. Not to mention it's also a hugely popular bait now. All right, so 2 colors again here. We got the Fusion. Again, I told you why I love this color. I know it's gonna bang on the rivers. And Lunar, because it is hands down my favorite color they make just from the look of it. Look at this thing. So it's got like a clear body, and on the inside that like black and blue, it's like shiny blue flake in there. Looks absolutely nuts. Once again, hyper durable, hyper stretchy. It's actually kind of hollow feeling up here in the tip. Look at that, how much you can squish this thing down. That is ridiculous. Your bites are gonna be great on this. They recess the head section, so it's gonna allow you to snug this up to your jig heads really well. It's not gonna be a gap in there. You can rig them much straighter that way. I like that idea a lot. Look at these things. Just fantastic. Tons of action. I got kind of shaky hands, but tons of action. Caffeine. These things are gonna look juicy. I love it. P.S. Quantity wise, you're getting 4 packs in these worms. They're a little bit less expensive as compared to what we'll get to at the end of this episode, which is the Craws and the paddle tails. And with these Neds, you get 8. But because they're extremely durable and should catch way more fish than even my Z-Mans can catch, it should last me a long time. When you guys get on the website and you check the prices, you're gonna see what I mean. They're pretty expensive, but you're paying for a premium product that should last you way more fish than your normal plastics. So I would challenge you to look at how many packs of regular like Senko stick worms you go through versus a pack of this. Does the cost balance out? Even though your Zooms are like $2-3, if you go through 4 or 5 packs in a day, whereas you can go through 1 pack of Nikkos in 4 or 5 trips, you know, is it economically equal, right? So on the surface, yes, looks expensive, but I'd argue they're gonna last you a long time. Much like my Z-Man packs. I hardly ever re-up on my Z-Mans. Granted, they are $4.99, so they're pretty dang cheap. So a little different. We're gonna get the comparison in. I think we'll go like Z-Man versus Nikko because I really wanna see how they hold up. So staying on that Ned front, I wanna show you guys the Leech. I've been really impressed with this one. I've been seeing it on social media a lot lately. Picked up 2 colors. We got your classic Morning Dawn, and again with that Fusion. Tell your boy is obsessed with this Fusion color. Check it out. There's the Leech. This thing's got a pretty thick body to it, and it's segmented. It's ribbed all the way through down to this tapered tail, which is a little bit flatter than the rest of the body. So that's gonna have a ton of action to it. If you guys look at this from the front, check this out. It's got a thick head section that's also a bit recessed. So again, you can Ned rig this. It would snug right up. You can definitely drop shot this, and you're gonna probably wanna do that. And then you can trim it. Check this out. See all these segments there? You can trim it with a knife, scissors, pretty easily. Loving this Morning Dawn color. This thing has been banging for me in my local waters, heavily stained waters. Throwing this on a drop shot is gonna get hit. Again, hyper stretchy as always. And I'm loving it. Look at the ribs all the way down, dude. That is some attention to detail. And they all move and flex. I am like blown away by these things. Check it out. There you go. Recessed head, thicker body main section, tapered tail, come down towards the end there. That is absolutely absurd. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I cannot wait to go fish these things. Quantity with the Leech, we get 5 3.8 inchers. Again, you can just trim them to suit your needs in your local waters. I'll probably leave them at 3.8. If I start getting short struck, I might just trim that head section a bit. So 5 each in there. Oh, the Helgermites, you're getting 4. 4 in each of these packs. And these shrimpies, 5. You get 5 quantity in the shrimps. Okay, this next one, this next one was probably like my favorite when we were on the podcast and Scott was showing us the baits. He had a table laid out with every bait they make, right? And this bait just jumped out to me. Like all the other ones I've opened, I love, by the way. This one jumped out to me as like one of the most ridiculous things I've seen. It's a gosh dang tadpole. Look at that. Are you kidding me? It's got a tadpole tail and everything that's super thick. It's actually like ribbed. You guys see this? Are you kidding me, dude? Look at that. What the actual heck? The legs, each one of these legs, hyper stretchy, these little tiny appendages, right? Normally you get tiny appendages on like your plastisol baits and you're like, those are gone. Even if I get like, I don't like hollow body legged frogs because those feet always get ripped off on me. Then we got a thicker head section right here, but it's small. So I'm seeing nose hooking this on a drop shot 100,000% and letting this tail just do work. Look at that. This is gonna be phenomenal. But you could also Ned rig this, of course, too. Go for like my smaller size Ned heads, maybe some mule fishing Ned heads or Super K jigs. Be throwing those around. I think this will look good. I went for watermelon. They had a bunch of different colors, but watermelon red flake I thought was a safe bet. A lot of them were just more like black or natural colors, which probably would have banged as well. I just opted for this one. I think it's gonna be more about the action for the appeal of this thing on that drop shot. It's gonna catch, like guaranteed that's gonna catch something. And so is this next one. I'm gonna be using this actually at the dam. How do I open you, my guy? From the bottom? Oh my goodness. What? Check it out. This is the Octopus. Oh my goodness. Check this baby out. Are you kidding me? It's kind of hard to see even in the light. Look at it. It's got eyes on either side. Got long tentacles here. This one is 3.5 inches. They come up to 8 inches, but we've got a hollow head section like a tube, and that's actually why I got it. So we're gonna fish this at the dam. On the inside section, we actually have a hollow head. So what you can do is you can shove a weight right up in here. This one's a little bit smaller, so I can maybe throw like, I don't know, a 1/4 ounce tungsten weight up in there, and that would look good. And then you run this on like a weedless small size for the 3.5 inch small size EWG, or I'm going to use a tube hook or throw it on a tube hook like this. So what you do is you rig your bait up there, and then that wide gap is going to end up just punching right back into the bait. So I think that could work really well right there. This might be even a little bit too big, but throw it on a little wide gap hook and that should work. Okay, I'm really stoked for this one. This is their new paddle tail. So these are called the Winnows. And yeah, it's like a winning minnow, the Winnow. This one does come in a clamshell, and so does their Craw. So let's check this baby out. I picked it up in 2 colors. The Lunar, again, because I just love that color. And then this Milky Way color, which is like a white with some silver flake. That should really pop. So think about it this way. I have not seen much like this on the market. There's not much as far as paddle tails go that are good options. And look at all the ribbing on this thing that are invincible. This is an invincible paddle tail. Think about throwing this as a search bait, not worrying if you hook into a pike or you get blown up on by a giant bass, because your tail is gonna be okay. I think we can make this thing last quite a few freaking fish. And look at that lunar color. Oh my gosh. Look how that blue shows up through that clear outer layer. That's fantastic. And this is actually a better color probably to show you the design here. Look at this. So you've got, hey, a little guide. Here's where your hook should be coming through, right? And look at this ribbing. Have you seen a design like this before? It zigzags. It zigzags and it moves with the water. That is just hyper impressive to me. And then we've got that big old paddle right at the end that's going to have a ton of action. These things have a lot of action. Normally you're sacrificing like action for durability or durability for action. In this case, you get both, best of both worlds. So I think this is going to be really fun to fish. Then we get to the first bait I experienced from these guys, which is the Nikko Craw. Comes in these 5-packs in the biggest clamshell you gosh dang ever saw. But I think we're gonna be satisfied with this bait. So let's see here. Got 2 colors of this one to try again, because I just like to vary that up so we can try some different stuff out. Went with the Fusion. And this other color that I really like, which is called Eclipse. Look at these things. Hyper detailed, by the way. We'll zoom in on one of them here in a second, but there's your 2 colors. The Eclipse has sort of this like natural browns and black color to it, and the tips of the claws are very orange, so they're gonna pop in the water as well. If you Ned rig these, it's gonna be a Craw in a defensive position with these floating claws up in the air, and you can hop it along the bottom. I'm gonna throw it into current and let it just move along the bottom. It'll get at it'll get et up. So let's zoom in on this Eclipse. Check this out. There's your main body, hyper durable, like they all are. How many craws do you see that have this level of detail on the appendages? Look at the little micro claws right here. Are you actually kidding me? So we got all these little appendages there, got our nice little tail section. It's gonna be super durable, squishy enough that we can get a bite even on smaller fish. We've got the little antennae coming out the sides, also hyper durable. You even got the eyes kind of built in there. And look at even just the details on the back. Scott said a lot of these are gonna be very unique in that each of these prints is gonna be a bit different. You got your hook section, and then you got these claws. These are some of the most impressive claws I've seen on a plastic like this. Closest I can see is like a Savage Gear, the 4D Craw maybe, for example, but this is fantastic. And I think more durable. Bam, these things are fantastic looking. Can't wait to fish those. Gonna go fish them on a river. Okay, this last one, okay, the last one Scott talked me into for sure. This is not something I would normally buy at all. However, we're gonna figure out a way to catch fish on this, and that is the 6-inch crab. Wow. So we have the crab, which is apparently like an amazing bait for maybe where they fish in Japan. We're gonna make it an amazing bait for the Midwest, y'all. Oh my gosh. This thing is actually kind of creepy. Check it out. Bam, 6-inch crab. Whoa, are you kidding me? So the whole thing is made out of the same kind of super stretchy, hyper durable material. And the suggestion, I went with green pumpkin, by the way, for color. I just wanted a darker color. The suggestion I was given by Scott was to actually fish this top water. So my thought is that we'll pitch this out there just on a big old like 5-6-aught EWG, and we're gonna run it top water. And we're probably gonna fish it at night or super early morning. And these claws will be kind of like dragging behind, I'm thinking, appendages out to the side. I'm just gonna treat it like a phantom spider. I've had fish of every species blow up on the lunker hunt phantom spider, so I can't see why this wouldn't work. It's a little bit of a big profile, but I think as we get into the summer here, there's gonna be some hungry bass that might come eat this thing. There you go. Look at this thing. Absolutely baller. Look at the claws on that. Every single part of this, hyper durable, hyper stretchy. This thing is so dumb. Oh, I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. I can't wait to fish this thing, actually. I am going to one of our super secret spots where I like to camp, and they might bite there. So I think I can catch on this thing. I think we'll get there. All right, you guys, there it is. We emptied that box out. Everything I just showed you, I also got for Paul. So Paul's gonna be fishing these baits with me. We're gonna fish the finesse ones over on the river here pretty soon. So you guys should be seeing a video drop about that. We're gonna fish some of the bigger stuff down by the dam. And then I wanna make sure I start throwing those paddle tails around as much as I can. So more content from these Nikko baits when we put them to the test on the water. Oh, and we gotta do a Z-Man versus Nikko baits. I told Scott we were doing that on the podcast. It's going down. Big shout out to Scott for sending me the extra baits, being the shrimp and those natural Helgermites. That's awesome. I really appreciate that. Send us some stickers. We might have to slap these on the old Snorlax. I got one for me, one for Paul. I think I'm gonna take black. He can have red. But I'm stoked about this, you guys. Hopefully you really enjoyed the video today. If you want to check out Nikko Baits, click the link in the description below. I know you won't regret it. I'm really impressed with these baits so far. I've caught fish on the Craw in the past. I can't wait to catch fish on the rest of these baits as soon as I possibly can. Hey, thanks for watching the video today, you guys. If you like unboxing videos, gear reviews, we're gonna start adding tips and tricks as well as fishing videos. Consider subscribing to the channel. Smash a like on this video, ring that notification bell so you can see when we drop more content, and then come hang out with me and Paul. Every Thursday we go live right here on YouTube, 8 p.m. Eastern. Come hang out and talk to us and chat. We'd love to see you there. All right, you guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.